Hey there, everyone. This is Lamine Gay from Hillsborough Education Foundation, here part of the Tech Connect program. I hope you guys are enjoying your summer. This past school year, as many of you may know, we've been running all over the county trying to help y'all kids and y'all parents get things together. And we're so proud of the work that families have done to make sure that despite the difficult times that the pandemic brought on, that you guys were best prepared to tackle schoolwork online. And one thing that we thought about, during the summertime was how can we help you guys stay sharp? And so we wanted to delve into a little bit about word processing and specifically Microsoft Word. I was doing some research and I discovered that although reading and writing has been taught separately for many years, it's crucial that they're taught together. And one of the best ways to build these skills is through the use of electronic word processors. In the modern day, that's exactly what people are utilizing, whether it's to read short stories or send news articles or send letters. It's all happening online. It really is best for kids and parents alike to get on board with knowing how to use processors like Microsoft Word. Hopefully, in today's video short, you'll be able to learn the tips and tricks to become expert readers and writers utilizing the program. And as always, feel free to contact us here at HEF if you have any questions. Hey kids, what's going on? It's Lamine from Tech Connect at HEF. How are you? Good? Awesome. That's great. I hope your summer vacation has been going good so far. I know you're probably letting out all that energy for being cooped up in the house for however many months it was. A long, long time. Now I know you're busy playing with water guns and tag and all this stuff outside, and that school seems really, really far away. But I wanted to help you stay sharp for when you come back to school, all right? You'll thank me for this. So in today's web show, what we're gonna do is we're gonna learn how to become expert writers. Start on the pathway to becoming expert writers by using a very important application called Microsoft Word. So I'll be right here with you. Your parents are here with you. You got a lot of support, don't worry. Using the menus and the toolbars in the application, we're gonna go through step-by-step directions that will teach us how to navigate the platform. Now, make sure to follow along very carefully and feel free at any time to pause or skip back in the video so that if you miss something or if you have any questions or you're confused or you got to go to the bathroom, grab a snack, grab one for me too, you can do so. All right, so let's jump in. So the first thing I'm going to do is share my screen. I am going to pull up a Microsoft Word document, a brand new one. And for you to do this, you'll just have to go to the Start menu in the bottom left corner. It'll have a window sign, and you click on it. And if you have Word already installed on your computer, you'll just click Word. And this will be what comes up on your computer screen, a brand new page. And we're going to get right into it with our step-by-step directions. So the first step is to insert your name in the header above. And you might be like, what header? What are you talking about? So this is a cool little, neat little trick, right? If you click, it's almost like an invisible thing. The header, it's there, but you just can't see it. But if you click on the top section of whatever document you're working on, you'll find the header. So we'll insert our names. My name is Lamine, so I'll type in my name. And you can do the very same thing. Remember, it's not a race. Take your time to focus on the letters and get familiar. The more time you take with the keyboard and the more you practice, honestly, the easier it will be to use. So once you're done inserting your name, you will save the document as your name, show and tell in your documents folder. And so how we do that is we are going to go to File, and we're going to go to Save As, right? Because we want to save it as a particular thing. And we're going to click on this PC. And we are going to make sure that, yes, we're saving it as a Word document. And we said we were saving it as our name, So my name is Lamine, followed by show N, the letter N, tell. And we're going to make sure that we're saving this in our documents folder, right? So that's under this PC, documents. You go to the sidebar here, and you'll be able to find this PC and documents. So we're going to save it. And this just enables us to save our work and then come back to it. So after we do that, we will indent the first paragraph on the page using the tab key, right? So we're going to double click outside of the header section, and how to indent the directions tells us is to use the tab key. So if you look on the left-hand side of your keyboard, you'll see a key that's labeled tab. It's on the top left of the keyboard. You'll just indent, you'll see that the cursor will move to the right. And as you learn in school, whenever you start a paragraph, you want to create an indentation. It's sort of like a formality of introducing a new thought or idea in a discussion. You create that indentation to show that this is not a continuation of something else, but this is new. Or if it is a continuation of another idea you had, that it's a different point that you want to make. So that's what we do. We just press tab to indent. The next step is to change the margins to 0.25. So you might be like, what are margins? What are you talking about? So margins, right, are right on the side, and that pretty much forms the border of your paper. And usually margins are about an inch all around. It's like if you think of a picture frame, it's the frame of whatever you're writing. And if you want shorter margins, or margins that are just not as wide, then you can shrink them. So what we're going to do is we're going to make them 0.25 inches instead of 1 inch. And how we do that is we're going to go to layout. We're going to click on margins, and we are going to change them to 0.25 all around. And you notice there are some presets here. Normal, which is the 1 inch that I talked about, narrow, just like gives you a little bit more space, and so on and so forth. So to change it to 0.25, we have to go to custom margins on the bottom. So we're going to click custom margins. And all around, that means top, bottom, left, and right, we're going to type in 0.25. We're going to click here, 0.25, click here, 0.25, oops, not 2.5, 0.25, click here, finally, 0.25. And that will change all of our margins to 0.25 inches. And we click OK. And you can see that it moves our name a little bit further to the left. In fact, quite a bit further to the left, because now the borders of our page are much, much wider. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the page orientation in landscape. Now, this is a little bit different. Usually when you write any document, you want to write it in portrait mode, because that's typically how most pieces of writing are written. The longer part of the page is going from top to bottom, not from left to right. But in this case, we're going to change our orientation from portrait to landscape. And you can see we're still under this layout tab. That orientation is right next to margin. So it's a pretty quick transition. And all you do is you're clicking landscape. We're on portrait now, which is why it's highlighted in gray like that. And now we're going to click landscape. And you can see it even looks wider now. It's more horizontally focused. So we're in the landscape mode. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to center the title of the page and change the size to 18. So currently, we don't have a title for our work. So let's come up with a title. Let's say Summer Fun with Lamine. I hope you're having fun with me. What we're going to do is we're going to press the enter button. That's just what I did here to bring it down, bring the cursor down. And we are going to center the title of the page. And how we do that is you go back to home from layout and you select here the center option. And that brings the cursor to the center, which means everything you write is going to be in the center. And we said our title would be in size 18 font. So how we change the size of our font is to go here, and you'll see it'll pop up font size, change the size of your text, and you click on 18. And then we'll type summer fun with Lamine. Add an exclamation point. And then it says we can choose a font of our choice for the title and also a color of the font of our choice. I like black, simple, classic. And I actually like the font that we're using now, Calibri. But if you wanted to change it, you would highlight right here your title, and you can go up right next to your font size and choose font. And you can see there's a lot of fun, funky fonts. When I was a kid, it was super fun to go through these and see the different kinds of fonts that existed. And so Times New Roman was always like a classic one that we used. But we can stick with Calibri. And then also the same thing goes for color. If you want to change the font color, you can click on this arrow next to the letter A with the red block underneath, the red rectangle. And you can choose from a variety of colors. If you wanted to make it this kind of orange, and there's different shades of colors, which is even cooler. And change it to orange, and change it to blue, which is my favorite color. If you guys want to send me some gifts, I like blue. And then you have, of course, black. Change it to white, it's invisible because we're on a white page. So be very careful. You don't want to go searching for your title and can't find it. So we'll keep it black. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the size of the text in the first paragraph on the page to size 14. And we're going to make that font Times New Roman font. So again, because it's totally blank, we're going to have to do some work in creating a paragraph. Now, a paragraph is a collection of sentences that illustrates an idea or a thought. And it's about 3 to 5 sentences. For the sake of this video, we can make a very simple paragraph about ourselves that's 3 sentences long. Let's make the first sentence about who we are, saying our name. So in this case, it would be, I am Lamine. So we can take time and type that, I am Lamine. And you can use your name, of course, instead of mine. How about what our age is, right? Some of you may be 6, 7, maybe some of you are a little bit older, 8, 9. I'll put mine, a little bit older than you guys. I am 29 years old. Okay. And then the last sentence of our paragraph can be something that we like to do. Some of you may like playing video games. Others of you may like singing or dancing or riding bikes or playing soccer. I like to play my guitar. I haven't done it in a long time, but it's there. I don't know if you can see it on the screen share, but it's in the background behind me. So I'll write, I like to play my guitar. And that's our paragraph. It looks short, but it's a paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences. And it's telling a story. What we'll do is we're going to change the size of the text to 14. We're going to change our font size to 14. So we highlight it. And how you highlight, right, is you click on the left side of your trackpad here. And with your other finger, you click it down with your right pointer finger. And with your middle finger, you can drag across and it will highlight whatever you want to highlight. And this is really cool. Instead of having to go to the top section here, right after you highlight, if you don't click on anything else, you can change your font color, font size, font style, right from the area which you highlight. So that's pretty neat. It's kind of a shortcut. So we'll change it to size 14, and we'll change our font to Times New Roman. Very classic. Gotta love Times New Roman. Never gets old. So what we're gonna do next is make sure that the spelling of the words are correct. And we're gonna use the spell check feature. We are going to play a little game. And this one is kind of to just help us figure out how to make sure we spell words correctly. I am going to type some words on the screen, and I am going to mess up the spelling of these words on purpose. Why would I do such a thing? This is going to help us to ensure that when we type something, we're typing it correctly. And Microsoft Word has a great feature, the spell check feature, that helps us to make sure that our words that we use are being spelled correctly and being used correctly as a result. So I'm going to type a few words on the screen. I know you're probably thinking as I type them, what? That's not how you spell that. But you're going to help me to spell them correctly. So first I'm going to type keyboard. And I'm going to type next to that headphones. I'm going to create some space so it's easier to see. Headphones. And then I'm going to type internet. And of course, you need to have a network for you to use the internet. So I'm going to type network. And you can kind of see, I think the computer is kind of getting frustrated with me. It corrected it already. And that's the beauty of Microsoft Word, that it can help us correct. Now, these words are words that we all know, but they're spelled incorrectly here. And so if you ever misspell a word, what will happen is there will be a red squiggly line that appears underneath that word. Now, sometimes the red line appears underneath a word it doesn't recognize. So if you have a name that is very unique, a red line might appear under your name. And if you know that you spelled your name correctly, don't worry about correcting it, even if Microsoft Word has that squiggly line that comes up underneath. Same thing happens to me sometimes. What we'll do in this case, though, where it's words that there is a correct spelling of that you spelled incorrectly, we can make sure that it gets corrected by right-clicking on the trackpad, which is the pad beneath you. You're going to click on the right side, the bottom right of the trackpad. And you'll see ABC spelling comes up. And there are a number of options that we can choose from. And we want this one here, keyboard. And I even have more suggestions here for us, which is great. The next thing we are going to do is we're going to align these words that are now correct to the right of the page. So what does that mean? You see how my name is on the left, and you have Summer Fun with Lamine, our title, in the middle, because we press center. Now we're going to take all these words, and again, we're going to highlight them. We're going to align them, I should say. Let me not get ahead of myself. Align them to the right side of the page. How we do that is we're going to highlight them. So we click on the bottom left of the trackpad and come across. And we are going to click Align Right, because currently we're aligned in the center. Click Align Right, and we'll see that the words are now on the right side of the page. If you're feeling tired right now, it's cool. That's fine. Let me just check on you real quick. Stop share. You guys okay? I know it's a lot, especially if you've never used Microsoft Word before. So let's just stretch. Oh gosh, good stretch. Yeah. Rotate a little bit, get our hands going so that we can get back to becoming writing experts. Okay, now that we're back, we are going to go back to sharing our screen. Go back to our document. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to create a table that has 3 columns and 5 rows. Now this may be like, what? How we're going to do that is we are going to, starting from our highlighted words, press the enter button twice. Click on the center button. Matter of fact, let's give ourselves some more spaces. On align left and move it all the way to the left. And what we'll do is we're going to create a table. So this is actually one of like the more fun things that I like to do on Microsoft Word is create a table. And it's pretty simple. We're going to go to insert, and that, as you can see, and as we'll see in a little bit, gives you the opportunity, or the ability, I should say, to insert a number of different things. You can put pictures in your document. You can put different pages. You can put a table. You can put videos. A lot of things. So we want to create a table that has 3 columns and 5 rows. So columns go from top to bottom, so 3 columns. And we want 5 rows. Rows go from right to left. And we're going to select 5 rows, so 3 by 5. And we just use the mouse to guide over and down how many we want. And boom, there you have it. So after we make our table, what we're going to do is we are going to make a list of our favorite songs. Now, I don't know what type of songs you guys like. I'm kind of old school. I like a lot of old school reggae music. So you might not know anybody who I mentioned. That's okay. But what we'll do is we'll put some of our favorite songs in these rows right here. But we're just going to stick to the first column. The cool thing is whenever you make a table, you can use it to organize any type of information you want by using the rows and the columns. So the first section, we will type favorite song. What we can do is we can highlight it, right? And we can make it bold. And we click on this letter B to make it bold because that's the title of this section, right? So we'll choose 4 songs that we like. I'll throw in some ones that you guys might know. Wheels on the Bus. That's a classic. Staying Alive. Is This Love? And Earth Song. So these are different songs, right? Now, in the second column on the top row, first row, we're going to type artists. so we know who the artists are, and we're going to highlight it and make it bold. I don't know who made Wheels on the Bus. It's a classic though. It's a bop. So I'm just gonna type unknown artist, but the song is fire. Staying Alive, the Bee Gees. Ask your great grandparents or your grandparents about them. Crazy that I'm saying that because I feel like that song was yesterday, but it really wasn't. Is This Love is by Bob Marley. And Earth Song is by Michael Jackson. So you guys can choose to put the artists that correspond with these songs right in here. And you know, maybe you have some songs that you list that I could learn from. I'd love to check out your songs. But that's how you use the table feature. So the next thing that we'll do after making our table is we will have another little game to help us train our minds for using Microsoft Word. How many of you know what a thesaurus is? If you do, raise your hand. If not, it's okay. So it's not a dinosaur. It's not like a brontosaurus. I don't even know if that's a real dinosaur. Or a stegosaurus. I'm pretty sure that's a real dinosaur. A thesaurus is a compilation of words that can substitute for other words. And what I mean by that is another word for mad is angry, or perhaps even upset, furious. Those are all words that are synonyms for mad. And so you can find those synonyms in a thesaurus. Now, instead of going out and buying a thesaurus, which can be, you know, pretty good investment, but you don't want to necessarily flip through pages while you're already on your Microsoft Word document doing homework, you have a thesaurus built into the Microsoft Word platform, and I'm going to show you how to use it. First, we're going to center our cursor, and I'm going to type 3 words in, and our goal is to find substitutes, right? Synonyms for words that I type using the thesaurus. So the first word will be sad. And I'll make that a little bit bigger. Sad, right? So maybe some of you already know some synonyms for sad. But if you didn't, what you could do is you'll highlight sad, right? We'll left click on the bottom left of our trackpad, and using our pointer finger and using our middle finger, we'll drag over it. So that's just a refresher on how to highlight. And what we'll do now is we're going to go to the top of our menu. We're going to click review. And you will see in review on the left-hand side, thesaurus. So when we click on thesaurus, we see all of these words that pop up that are synonyms for sad, unhappy, miserable, gloomy, down, blue. So what we'll do is we'll type some of these words here. Unhappy, miserable, gloomy, down, blue, right? So you may wonder, why do we need a thesaurus? Well, as you start becoming expert writers, you'll notice, man, I'm writing a lot. And some of the words that I'm using, I want to use them again, but I don't want to repeat myself because that can kind of get annoying or boring. What are some other words I can use to say a similar feeling? That's what the thesaurus is good for. So we looked up synonyms for sad, right? In our thesaurus, our electronic thesaurus, and we have 5 really good words. Let's try looking up synonyms for sweet. And what we'll do here is we'll just highlight this again. And we'll click thesaurus. And there it is. Sugary, syrupy, saccharin, that's a fancy one. Sweetened, honeyed, I like these. Do you guys like these? Let's do one more. Long, right? And we'll highlight long, and we'll click on Thesaurus. And here we go. Extended, extensive, elongated, lengthy, and stretched. So these are all different words that we can use and substitute for the words that we started with. Pretty cool, right? So Microsoft Word has a lot of cool stuff. Now, let's say after all of this typing, right, we wanted to figure out how many words did I put on this page? Quite a few words here, different types of words. What we can do is we can use the word count feature. And how we do that is we click on word count under this review tab. Which is right under the Thesaurus, awesome. And it tells us all the statistics related to our document. Pages, one page, 63 words, 344 characters without any spaces, 419 characters with spaces. So characters are just like letters, right? And then if you include the spaces in between the letters, then we have 419 of those, but we have 63 words. So cool, very informative. The last thing we're gonna do is we wrote a little paragraph. It's more like a collection of small sentences here, but it's still a paragraph nonetheless about ourselves earlier. We're gonna go back to the top and we're gonna find a picture that describes in the best way our paragraph. And how we'll do that is we're gonna go back to insert, right? And we're gonna go to pictures. Very nice. And we're gonna go online. We're gonna type guitar because I wrote about me and my guitar. Let's see what happens. There's somebody playing the guitar. It's nice. Let's insert that. So we see it's downloading and it's kind of big. What you can do to shrink it is just grab on the corner here and just keep pulling it. Same way that we highlight, we left click on the trackpad and you, with your right pointer finger and with your middle finger, you just drag diagonally down so that it shrinks it. And this is good. This is a little picture describing me. He looks like he might be 29, I don't know, and playing my guitar, right? And so that's all. That's our exploration, our fun time with Microsoft Word. I hope you guys learned a lot. The best part about recordings like these is you can always go back. Yeah, and if you have any questions, feel free to, like I said, rewatch. Reach out to us here at Hillsborough Education Foundation. We're dedicated to making sure that you guys, students, you guys, the future, have all that you need to be successful. So here's for Hef, this is Lamine signing off, saying happy summer, happy exploring. I hope I didn't break your brain too much. I know you want to get back out to playing outside, but trust me, you'll be thankful that we did this. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.